Welcome back. Hope you've used some of the information in the last video. Okay, we've got some more for you right now. I want to get right into this, and this is something that remember I talked about just making a small shift that has a huge impact on your thinking. So this is what I want you to do with this exercise right now. Very often a student or an athlete will come to me and they'll say, I'm feeling nervous. And I'll say, right, okay, if you're feeling nervous, let's change that word. Let's take the label off that word. As an example, for most of you, you'll have phones which have a certain brand on it. You take the brand off the back of that phone, it becomes just a phone. If you've got, let's say you've got a pair of trainers which has that label on it. If you take that label off the pair of trainers, it becomes just a pair of trainers. And so this is what we're going to call, we're going to de-label it. Okay, we're going to take the label off it and we're going to give it a completely different meaning. So one of the things that you do at the moment, you'll be revising. And I ask students, tomorrow I'm in a school in Peterborough in the UK, and I'll ask the students and I'll say to them, how many of you like revision? And no hands will go up. Maybe one or two. And then I'll say, how many of you don't like revision? And a bunch of hands go up. So I'll say, right, let's de-label it. Let's stop calling it revision. What does an elite athlete do to get better? What they do is they train, they practice. Yep. So stop calling it revision, start calling it training. Can you imagine somebody like Wayne Rooney, revising? He doesn't revise, he trains. You know an elite athlete, to go to a different level, they have to train. You don't like this, so stop calling it revision. Let's start calling it training. All right? On the other side, let's stop calling these guys teachers. Okay? What does this guy have? They have coaches. They have coaches who are designed to help them go to a different level. They're designed to push them, to pull them across the line. And in some cases, to even kick them across the line. Even, Olympic athletes right now, they've had a coach for 4 years. And going into the biggest event of their life, can you imagine an Olympic athlete not speaking to their coach for the next 4 weeks? That wouldn't happen. And they wouldn't not speak to them during the event either. But my question to you as a young student, I could even call you a student athlete here, and I know this as an example, how many of you have been speaking to your coaches? How many of you have been asking them questions, saying, what do I need? I'm not ready, and having them push you across the line. So, de-label it. Stop calling them teachers. Let's start calling them coaches. And by the way, if you want to question this, which you should really think about the best athletes in the world still have coaches. Your favorite musicians, your favorite actors and actresses, they all have coaches. Who's your coach? Go and speak to them right now, have an honest conversation, tell them, I'm not ready, what do I need to do? Ask them what, and it's not too late. I don't care whether you've got 3 weeks to go or whether you've got a week to go, or it's not too late to have that conversation. De-label. So if we're going to add something else to de-label, one of the things that we started with was nerves. So a smart adult came up to you in the past and you said to them, I've got this feeling in my stomach. And smart adult said, you must be nervous. And you labelled that feeling with nerves. Now, if I'm going to generalize, Nerves is seen as something negative, not positive. In some context, but it's seen as something negative. Now imagine this, rewind. You've got that feeling in your stomach. You go to the smart adult and you say to them, I've got this feeling in my stomach. And that smart adult says to you, you must have energy. That would have changed your perception of that feeling. So you're going into the exam or the performance, it's not nerves, I've got energy. How can you use that differently?